You are listening to Ruthies Table 4 in partnership with Moncler.
What I know about Luca Guadagnino is, of course, the films he's made. But what I know from Luca is how passionate he is about food. Meeting him over lunch last week at the River Cafe, we went straight into not what movies he was making, but what food he was cooking. He is Italian, and he cares. Friends tell me that in his home in Piemonte, Luca has 3 kitchens, including one elaborately equipped for pastries and a special room for vinegar and herbs. It's always full of people, everyone gathering around the table and kitchen. He genuinely loves cooking, with friends participating and enjoying the conviviality of the process. Our good friend, Lorcan O'Neill, says Luca has a true instinct for friendship. Food not only plays a strong role in his home life, but an important role in his films, conveying sensuous desire and transformation. The prawns in I Am Love, the peach in Call Me By Your Name, the churros in Challengers. We're here today in the one kitchen I have in my home to talk about food and memories, food and film, food and family, a beginning to our new friendship, one cook to another.
Wonderful. I'm so happy to be here.
It's so nice to have you here. It was so fast. We just saw each other 2 weeks ago, and you're back in London. Yeah. You're going to come back more often?
This is the first time I'm back since I saw you.
Well, you're going to come back more. When's the next time? That's what I can
I hope very soon.
Good.
I might be coming back and stay because I might do a movie in London. I did a movie last year.
Yeah, what was that?
It's After the Hunt.
Yes.
Starring Julia Roberts and
yes.
Ayo Edebiri and Andrew Garfield, Chloe Sevigny, Michael Stuhlbarg. And it was a great experience. And I love to be in London.
What was great about it?
You know, like, first of all, to be in the summer in London is good for me because I cannot stand the heat. So I like the temperature here.
Okay.
And the quality of work was
That's what
great.
we don't like about London summers.
Oh, my God. I can trade place.
Yeah. And then what else did you like?
Quality of work, amazing. Amazing crafts. Yeah.
They used to say that independent films were used to be made in Europe, the small films, and the big ones in LA. And now it's changing. Everybody wants to make a movie here.
LA, I don't think they do any movies, basically. It's like impossible because of the very expensive nature of the business there.
Yeah. Gordon Brown, who's the prime minister here, 15 years ago, maybe? He brought in the idea of lowering the tax for making cinema here.
Tax rebates.
And if you walk into the River Cafe, you see everybody. Noah and Greta are here. You were here. Julia Roberts is making another film now. Alejandro is here, and J.J. Abrams is here. It's like walking into a kind of canteen, It's really
it's unbeatable.
Nice.
Quality of work.
It's so nice for us.
And good prices.
What about in Italy? Are they making movies?
The problem with Italy is that the quality of life is very good, and we have very good craftsmen in Italy, but unfortunately, we don't have we have a short-sighted politics at play there.
Because the tradition in Rome, the Cinecittà, I mean, was amazing.
I shot a movie in Cinecittà, which is my previous one, Queer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we went to talk about that.
I fulfilled this kind of fantasy of making a movie entirely shot on stage in Cinecittà.
All interior, all...
Everything. No, interior and exteriors. I think we had like 10 stages. We built in the back lot, in the front lot. There was a sort of big hill of dirt that we took over and we created a jungle over there. And it was fascinating, but almost for the remembrance of things past and more than the energy of the now.
Because did Fellini and Antonioni, did they make all their movies?
Fellini for sure. Antonioni, I would say maybe not, but Fellini for sure.
So we would love to read. We always try and start even the beginning of the conversation, because that's how this podcast started. It was during COVID. The idea originally was just to read a recipe every day. And then the idea was to say, well, how do you segue from the recipe to the story of your life through food? So we want to talk about cinema, and we want to talk about Italy, and we want to talk about everything. But it's the kind of getting to understand who we are through our experience, memories of food.
Which is everything.
Do you think it is?
I think so. Memory of meals, memory of food, memory of the tactile experience of food, the smells, the texture. I think it constitutes, and I'm not talking about fancy food per se, I'm talking about the idea of nourishment or the deprivation of nourishment. it's really like one of the things that makes us universally linked as people. So I do agree with you completely.
And memory,
Yeah. When my father was dying, I flew...
when was that?
In 2020, during lockdown. I flew to Sicily, where he was born, in his village. And I walked toward the building where he grew up, where he was born and grew up, and where I spent a lot of summers when I was very little. And I could distinctively remember in my mind, and still now I can, the smell of mold and grapes being dried coming from a storage place in the building. So I went into the building and I could enter, and the smell came back to me in its physical presence, and it was incredible.
And your father was dying in a hospital somewhere else?
Yeah. He was in Milano. I could come back home and see him going.
Did that help? I mean, having the
I don't know.
smells,
It never
did the
helps.
smell,
It
no,
never
nothing helps.
You think
I agree.
helps, it doesn't.
Nothing helps, but the smell that you could feel.
Now
the smell.
it's like a legacy and
Yeah.
something that makes me have him close. Even the memory of that.
You went to Ethiopia, and
Yeah,
usually...
I was supposed to be born in Ethiopia, but I came out earlier, so like at 7 months in August. I had to be a Leo. There was no way around it.
I'm a Cancer.
Oh, so we're close.
Just before, yeah.
I like Cancer women. I don't like men.
I have a friend that went to L.A., and she asked the hotel, the Beverly, to find her a babysitter. And the baby said, well, I can babysit, but I need to know the sign of the baby first.
I agree.
Oh, come on.
I mean, Scorpio woman, impossible. My mom.
Yeah? Okay, well, get back to the signs. You were born a Leo in Ethiopia.
Yes, and then we moved to Ethiopia in September.
You were born in Palermo.
And then we flew
moved
to Addis Abeba when I was 2 months.
Wow.
And I spent the first 5 years of my life there.
Can you remember the smells of Ethiopia?
Oh, yeah.
What were they like?
Well, I mean, I don't know how to describe a smell, but I remember very well the smell of the garden. I remember the smell of the pets we had, which was also a big turtle. We had a big turtle as a pet. I can remember the smell of the coffee being roasted outside.
Okay.
I can remember the food, injera.
What was it like?
Injera is very tangy smell.
Very good food, Ethiopian food.
Oh yes, amazing.
The Ethiopian
Doro Wat
restaurants,
smell, the sweetness of the onions mixed with the powdery smell of the berbere. It's fantastic.
Of the berbere, what is that?
Berbere is a mixture of spices that is typical of Ethiopian kitchen. It's very red, and it's used for Doro Wat, which is a chicken stew, or for the lamb or beef stew called zigini.
Wonder why Ethiopia has that.
My father was really restless. He met my mother when he was teaching. He was a professor in Casablanca, and my mother was living there. She grew up in Morocco. She's Algerian, but she grew up in Morocco. And then once I was born, he wanted to do another adventure abroad, so he got a post in Addis Abeba.
Are you an only child?
No, I am the last of 3.
3. So all 3 of you went to Ethiopia?
Yeah.
I see.
We grew up there.
Do you cook Ethiopian food?
Every now and then I do. Yes.
Can you get the ingredients?
Yes.
Is that what you keep in your special kitchen?
I do have a lot of berbere.
I'm very interested.
You know that I have like a collection of spices.
Yeah, you have a whole room.
Very large. Yeah, and then I have made with the wonderful people at Nymphenburg in Munich. They sourced from their archives those jars made for apotheke in porcelain. And I asked them how many sizes you have, and they had every sizes because this Nymphenburg, it's 400 years, so they used to make them for apotheke. So they had from 10 kilos to 10 grams. And I made 200 of them for my kitchen, from 10 kilos to 20 grams.
Now, how long does the 10 kilos stay good? I mean, do they stay...
I cook a lot. So if you put 10 kilos of flour, maybe it's going to last 2 weeks or even less.
I think we use bit of dried thyme and a bit of dried oregano. But I don't think in our kitchen, we do the fresh herbs. We don't use, the kind of cooking we do.
Yes, but you do use spices.
Yeah,
you use nutmeg, you use cloves.
We use cumin, we use coriander.
The world of spices is so wide and amazing.
It's beautiful, and the smells. So the recipe that you chose to read today is...
I chose from
we gave
the
you all
book,
the books.
the beautiful
we gave you all
book.
The menu. That was our 30th birthday book.
So beautiful.
Combining.
I chose tagliarini with asparagus and herbs. There is a wonderful lady on the picture on the left side. Who's this lady?
That is Vashti Armit, who's the manager of the River Cafe.
The River Cafe is an incredible table. You eat so well there.
Well, good. Thank you. We have to eat more.
Yeah.
So would you like to read the recipe? Whichever
I read the
recipe,
recipe and then I give some tips.
We'd like to talk about some fresh pasta, wouldn't we?
Yeah. I mean, you call them tagliarini and they are technically called tagliarin.
Oh,
and it's Piemontese pasta. And as you said before, I live in Piemonte. And the typical way of using tagliarin is with truffle when the season is right. It's very thin and very sturdy kind of pasta.
Okay.
So tagliarin with asparagus and herbs. This is for 675 grams of thin asparagus spears, which could be also wild asparagus if you can find them.
We try and get that. It's not so easy here.
My friend Camillo, who is the gardener in my house, his father, who collects from the nature's wild herbs, brought me wild asparagus last week.
So already? Early.
Yeah, I have it in my fridge.
It's very early, the season now, because we just got green asparagus today from Italy. Everything's early. I know.
4 garlic cloves. I think this is too much. I would say 1.
Okay.
Can I?
Yeah, I love it. I'm nothing like an Italian teaching me how to cook. I really appreciate it.
I'm not teaching you. I'm saying just the balance. If I put the proportion of the grains of asparagus, I think 1 garlic clove will be enough.
That's fine.
4 tablespoons of chopped.
I love it.
Chopped mixed.
Wait till I go see your movie. I'm going to give you some advice.
I want all the advice. 4 tablespoons chopped mixed fresh herbs, basil, mint, parsley, oregano. Fantastic. 1 millimeter double cream. And in England, you have the incredible double cream.
That's one thing we have. France, you have creme fraiche. Italy, you don't have it at all.
No, we have
you get the cream that's in those packets that lasts for years.
But even the fresh one is not as thick and good as the one you find here.
Fair enough.
2 tablespoons of olive oil, 50 grams of unsalted butter, 250 grams tagliarin or tagliatelle, 120 grams of freshly grated Parmesan cheese. Trim or snap off the tough ends from the asparagus spears. Finally chop the asparagus all together with 1 of the garlic cloves and the herbs. Bring the cream to the boil in a saucepan with the rest of the whole garlic cloves and simmer until the cloves are soft. Remove from the heat, discard the garlic. So I changed my mind. It's actually good to have 4 garlic cloves by treating them this way.
And then throw them away.
I apologize.
Taken.
You know what Bernardo Bertolucci used to say?
What did he used to say?
Only asshole, they don't change their mind.
I agree.
So you see?
Or admit. But I have to say that I haven't looked at that recipe for a long time. So I accepted that. I forgot that we took it out. We do that quite often when we use a cream. Like when we do prosciutto
you make the cream
and
beans,
cream. So we take...
the aroma.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
Okay.
Heat the olive oil and butter in a separate large saucepan and fry half of the chopped asparagus for 5 minutes, stirring. Add the rest of the chopped asparagus followed by the flavored cream. Bring to the boil, then reduce the heat and simmer until the cream begins to thicken, about 6 minutes. Season, remove from the heat and keep warm. Cook the pasta in a generous amount of boiling water, salted, and then drain to roughly. Add to the sauce along with about half of the Parmesan and toss together. Serve with the remaining Parmesan. Great recipe.
When you cook, do you think, when you're in Piemonte and you're making me lunch, what would you make if you were saying, Ruthie, I'm going to show you something from the region of...
I would make you, do you like sweets, desserts?
Oh, yeah.
I would make you a coppa di crema di Seiras, which translates into a cup of Seiras cream. Seiras is a ricotta cheese produced only in that part of the Piemonte where I live. And it's super thin and almost like double cream kind of texture, but it's ricotta. And I found this in this book, this old, ancient, aristocratic recipe, where you mix the ricotta with raisins, cinnamon, nutmeg, a little bit of double cream, and then you break some Savoiardi biscuits and rum. It's super good.
Do you soak it in rum, the biscuits in rum, or do you add the rum to
No, I add the rum to the cream. I think the biscuits to be broken and put with the cream makes this crunchy thing that is good.
Oh, nice. So what do you think about that recipe then? You approve of the garlic.
I totally approve. I approve the recipe. I love the way in which you thick the sauce. You make the cream thick. I like the way you chop the asparagus is because that bleeds into the cream and makes the cream being ripe with the taste of the which is like sweet and slightly bitter, which I love.
And you have an amazing, sort of incredible palate. So when you were growing up, just tell me, going back from Ethiopia, and you described the smells and the food and the recipes, which have stayed with you all your life, but you went back to Palermo. And what was that like there? Did your mother cook?
My father.
Your father did the cooking?
Oh, very much.
Did he?
A lot.
Really? What did he make?
Everything. He was cooking every day.
Really?
And he was cooking a lot, like more than what we needed.
For 3 children, though?
3 children.
5 of you.
Yeah, but it was large meals or large recipes.
But he was a teacher. So
he was teaching, he was coming back
then...
home at 1 and he was cooking all day.
And what about your mother?
My mother was more like shy in the kitchen, probably because my father was very... Yeah, she cooked a lot of Moroccan in time to time. She taught me how to do crepe, which is a dessert that I love.
A French crepe?
French crepe.
What was the technique? Do you remember?
Yeah, I think you have to do it so that once you have created the batter, you say batter?
Batter.
With the milk, eggs, a little bit of sugar, a little bit of butter. You let it rest for 1 day near how do you call that?
A radiator.
A radiator. So the heat makes the batter ferment.
Did you ever have farinata?
Oh, I love farinata.
How much we love farinata. We do that a lot because that's
farinata,
again a batter.
I had a great farinata at the River Cafe when I was there last week. Yeah, well, amazing.
It's really, I think we often give people pizzas to start, but there's something about a farinata, which is
farinata is an incredible recipe.
It's just chickpea flour, olive oil.
Very good nutritive thing.
Yeah.
A lot of protein in it. Yeah, farinata is an incredible. I mean, we have so many different ways of farinata in Italy because you have farinata in Tuscany, and then you have panelle in Sicily.
Do we have farinata in Tuscany?
Yeah, you have farinata in Tuscany.
You
have it in Liguria. You have it and you have the panelle in Palermo, in Sicily, which is chickpeas flour mixed with water, boiled.
Boiled?
Yes, and then put on a thin layer, cut in slices and fried. That's panelle, pani e panelle, which is a typical street fare.
Street food.
Yes, but it's another variation of the farinata.
Imagine estate bottled olive oil chosen and bottled for the River Cafe arriving at your door every month. Our subscription is available for 6 or 12 months, with each oil chosen personally by our head chefs and varying with each delivery. It's a perfect way to bring some River Cafe flavor into your home or to show someone you really care for them with a gift. Visit our website, shoptherivercafe.co.uk, to place your order now. How long did you live at home for? Was it?
I think I left home when I was 21.
So
I left Palermo. I went to Palermo. I went to Rome to study literature.
Did you know that you wanted to do film?
Yeah. I was torn between 2 directions for myself. One was to be a director, a film director, and the other one was to be a chef. I was cooking. I had my little mini pans when I was in Ethiopia growing up. I had my little corner in the kitchen where I could do what I wanted. And I grew more and more into this. And then when I was like 14, I realized that if I had to go into that direction, I would have probably abandoned the intellectual part of my upbringing, because I was also a very avid reader of books.
Were you quite academic?
I felt like that between the two, probably I could have kept being passionate with food, but I would have made my life more intellectual. And that's why I choose not to be...
How did cinema... Did you have have you had little pans from Ethiopia?
I had a camera. I had a Super 8. Yes.
You did?
I had a Super 8. My first Super 8, I had it when I was like 9 or 8.
Your parents gave it to you?
My mother. My mother gave me a Super 8. And I started shooting my little short films with this, like you could get this 8 millimeters little box where you put into the camera and then you had to ship it to Germany and wait like 2 months to get it back. So I had my camera and I had my projector. And I started to learn that if you wanted to not tell a story but communicate something, you didn't have to just film, but you have to create a juxtaposition. But I didn't know how to actually cut. So I started to cut on camera. So I was doing a shot, and then I was thinking what I want this to be followed by, and I was shooting another thing. And I was doing these mini movies about juxtaposition of things.
Do you have them?
My mom must have in some boxes,
I
yes.
think you should find them.
We should find them.
We should
find them.
But you still cook. When you went to Rome,
I do cook.
someone
I
told me
became
that
friends with great chefs
That's-
like yourself, and I cultivated the cult of food all my life.
Yeah.
I was, for 1 year and a half, I was gastronomic critic for Vanity Fair Italy.
Oh.
Yeah, every
And
week.
you reviewed restaurants? Or?
Yeah, all over the world.
Wow.
And it's interesting because, like, at the beginning, of course, it was like, we start. But then I became very consistent because I was doing once a week for like more than 70 weeks.
For Vanity Fair?
Italy was
It
a
came out
weekly.
weekly?
Yes, it's weekly.
Wow, I didn't know
And
that.
there was a great director, Daniela Amawi. She was great.
Yeah.
Then she left, and the new director fired me because he said to me, you know, we don't like criticism because we want to be friends with everybody. So I said, okay, bye-bye.
You should meet Adrian Gill. Yeah.
I'm gone. And actually, the conversation started because I sent a review of a very important restaurant
In Rome.
in Bergamo, 3-star Michelin. So now everybody who knows that knows who's the restaurant.
Still there.
Oh, yeah, super important. And I sent it, and they said to me, we can't publish this because we're friends. And I said, yes, but I understand you're friends, but journalism is journalism, right? No. Then I made another review of another restaurant, 2-star Michelin, and it was another skating review. And they said, we can't either. So I went to see the director, the editor of the magazine, and they fired me. We parted ways. But I made like
But you-
I made like 65, 70 reviews.
Oh, you have to see
I should put them in a book.
Yeah, that you could put in
Was
a book.
nice.
You could put that in a book.
But then I started to go to places, and people were like, they were like treating me in a different way, and I that was bad. And sometimes they were asking me, can you come and review us? Even if it's a bad review, we want the review.
Just, well, then you must have well written them. There is I wonder, you know, we did a podcast recently with Francis Coppola.
The divine Francis.
Divine. Yeah. Do you see him?
No, I never met with him.
Well, we could do-
I'm friend with his daughter,
Sophia.
the wonderful Sophia. Yes.
He's living in London now.
I would love to meet
we
Mr.
do that.
Coppola.
And he also, you know, you talk about the parallels between making a movie and making a recipe, running a restaurant, directing a film. You know, how you, of course, it's in one way not very similar at all, but in many ways it is about creating something perhaps temporary, the response of the critics, how you do it. Do you think? I mean, did you find directing films and writing about food or cooking food?
I think directing films and cooking, or in general running an enterprise like a restaurant, are very close.
They are.
Because the director is the entrepreneur who is putting together all the elements, including the ingredients, to make the experience be. So I think they are very close. And I think there is a lot of savviness in the entrepreneur who knows life and habits and behavior. So a director should be someone who does know that.
And when you made your first film, what was your first film that you actually...
Or a movie called The Protagonists that I shot in London with Tilda Swinton. And it's a movie that I'm not very happy with, that the Cinematheque in Bologna restored. I met with the director of the Cinematheque, Gianluca Farinelli. I said, Gianluca, why you restored that movie? That's bad. And he said to me, shut up, the movie's great. And then a few months later, it was on Mubi, which is still, and I'm very like, why? Anyway.
We'll have to watch it.
Don't. It's going to be your vengeance for the 4 garlic cloves.
I have no vengeance at all.
I'm kidding.
But I think that it is interesting to think about the way you've brought food into film. You know, how your films, as I said in my introduction, the sensuous quality, the way that food can transport you into knowing about a relationship, by the way people eat together, by the way they feed each other.
I think we
Tell me
zero
about that.
as people to very few you cannot surpass unsurpassable elements of our being. One is the biological is important, like sleep. eat, drink, shite, pee. Those are elements that are constitutional of who we are as people. And because we are also capable of telling a story about ourselves, meaning as our condition as people, to discard the elements that constitute our everyday life from the narrative, it's advertisement. It's a sort of artificial construction. So that's why I'm very keen that in my storytelling, there is always the possibility of experiencing our universal being, which has to do with sleeping, waking up, peeing, shiting, and eating.
And sex.
And having sex.
Yeah.
Even though I think that sex as a cultural artifact is overrated.
Oh, do you?
Oh my God,
Interesting.
yes, it's so boring.
Huh. Boring to watch, boring in film.
Boring
Really
to
challenging.
discuss it.
Yeah. Challenging in film, too, isn't it? To how you...
Yeah, I mean, there is the challenge of filming sex deals with the undemocratic nature of filmmaking and the inevitable and absolutely welcome need of democracy in dealing with people that helps you making the movie. Translation. If you make a movie as a director, you always have this totalitarian idea that everything has to be the way you want. But how can you have that attitude when you ask two people, maybe two people that are strangers to each other, to do something intimate, even if for the fiction of it? So it's a compromise. It's a conversation. It's like sometimes the compromise brings something you didn't expect. Sometimes the compromise destroys what you wanted to do. Sometimes it hurts you or it hurts the other, and it shouldn't.
We were talking with Francis the other day, we were talking about erotic film, when you see something erotic in a movie.
And
I
remind
said
me
that-
to tell you what is the most erotic cinema scene in my idea.
And I said that one of the most erotic scenes that I remember, and I'm not going to remember which one it was, with Daniel Day-Lewis, the Edith Wharton movie.
The Age of Innocence.
Yeah, when he holds her hand in the carriage. Do you remember? He just
I
holds
was
her
going.
hand.
This
He
is
takes her
incredible
hand.
because I was going to tell you one scene from Manuel de Oliveira, and this was going to be my second.
No, amazing.
In the scene that you describe, which is incredible, he takes the hand and unbuttons the glove on the wrist, and he opens the glove almost like in a sort of like vagina shape and kisses it and smells it. I agree with you. That's one of the most erotic scenes ever shot from a director who knows everything about human nature. The other scene is in the great movie La Valle a Brao, The Valley of Sin, which is a sort of version of Madame Bovary, shot by the greatest director ever lived, Manuel de Oliveira, Portuguese, in which he has this actress, Leonor Silveira, an amazing actress, playing Madame Bovary, being like tormented by this kind of shock of eroticism that she's feeling for the man. And she grabs a flower and she fingers the flower, and the director makes this close-up of the flower cup being fingered by the finger of Leonora Silveira. Incredible moment.
So as a film, we don't have to put this in, but as another scene that I was thinking another way of torture. And one of the most upsetting torture scenes that I've seen was in Rome Open City.
Oh, yes.
Because you never see it. You never see the torture. It's in a room behind, and you just hear it.
It's amazing.
And now if they probably were we think of all the torture scenes we see in film where the guy's tied up or somebody comes in and throws this on
Can I say something that is going to make me lose some people that likes my work or myself? I don't think everybody should make films. Only the people who knows how to make them. and you're hitting a very delicate, hot button here, because to represent something like torture, it takes an ethical and also humanistic wisdom to do it properly. And that's why you mentioned this scene from one of the greatest movies ever made, from one of the greatest directors ever lived, Roberto Rossellini. So, I agree with you, violence spreading on the screen indiscriminately, because it's like a trade, and it doesn't come with an idea of ethics at play from filmmakers sometimes. Not now, from a long time, or in general. Roma Città Aperta, which I watched again last summer.
Oh, really? I haven't seen it.
In London at the Curzon Mayfair, they had a re-release. It's interesting because historically, the movie has been told of being one of the great examples of Italian neorealism, but in fact, it's one of the great melodramas, I think, more than neorealism. It's a beautiful movie.
I thought it was staggeringly
So beautiful.
So if we're going back to the cooking and the food, in your tell me a scene, because I could say the chorizos and challengers, or we could talk about the peach, or we could talk about the prawns. For you, which one would you talk about if I asked you to talk to me about a film?
I don't want to be sensationalist, but one scene of food that I think it's very, very successfully made in my movies, it's when Maren and Sully, played by Mark Rylance and Taylor Russell, eat the lady in the house, in Bones and All.
Well, you're talking about that.
That is a great meal scene, I would say.
Can you describe it to someone who's
I can
listening?
describe you
Somebody's listening to this and they won't know, have seen it. So
I
tell
think
them.
if I remember properly, you have the character of Maren, this girl who is coping with her own nature. She realizes that she's a cannibal and cannot stop by being one. And she's in search of a way not to be like that, and also in search of someone to share the burden of this way of being. And she has met this older man, Sully, played by Mark Rylance, the amazing Mark Rylance, and who is like her, an eater, someone who has an impulse of eating cannibalistic and cannot refrain from. And he brings her to a house in a village in the night, and basically he tells her that in the other room, a lady is almost dying, an older lady. And she's revolts by this. She wants to run away, and he tells her, that's your nature. She goes into another room and spends the night awake and not knowing what to do. And then she falls asleep, and then when the first light of the day comes, the lady dies, and she suddenly smells the impulse to go there. She smells what she has to go for. And she opens the door, and she walks in the landing, and we can see part of the body of the lady, but you see Sully bending over the woman, already feasting on her, and turning toward Maren and looking at her and kindly inviting her in.
Wow.
And the scene, I thought the movie was going to be like a great, successful love story, and people were really appalled by the nature of the cannibalism in the movie, but we were very committed to make it properly. And I would say that both Taylor Russell and Mark were sublime in the movie, and of course my dear Timothée Chalamet was incredible in the movie either. That's my favorite meal scene that I filmed in my life.
Yeah, it's your favorite meal.
Yeah,
scene.
because it's terminal. It's like, what can you go beyond that? You can't. That's it.
I haven't seen it.
Bones and All was 2022.
Oh, I have to
And it
see
stars
that.
Timothée Chalamet and Taylor Russell and Mark Rylance.
An open kitchen in the River Cafe means we as chefs are able to talk to our guests dining in the restaurant. And now we're bringing that same ethos to our podcast, a question and answer episode with me and our two executive chefs. Send a voice note with your question to questions@rivercafe.co.uk, and you might just be our next great guest on Ruthie's Table 4. Let's go back to your kitchens, 3 kitchens in Piemonte. So tell me about the 3 kitchens. You have a pastry kitchen as well. Do you?
The house I live in is an old house from 19th century, and I renovated it very slowly in time. And I always wanted to be able to have space to cook properly and to have all the things I need to cook properly. And I always thought that you could not cook savory where you cook sweet.
Yeah, well, restaurants, we have a pastry kitchen.
Separated. So that was a rule. So I created these 2 rooms, separating them. One is cream color and one is peach color. It's all tiles.
Which one is which?
The peach is the
pastry?
The pastry. Then I have another kitchen outside for if I do. I have not put the actual gears yet, but this is going to be for caterings maybe. And I'm now doing a bakery.
Are you?
In the courtyard, yes.
For yourself? Or are you going
Because
to...
this is like a countryside home with all the buildings made for harvesting and da. And there was an old brick oven already there.
And
so I'm
it's still
restoring
there?
the brick oven and making a bakery in order to do bread.
It's very, very different, isn't it? Cooking, making bread, making pastries from making pasta or meat.
All of
It's
them are very different
and we have
disciplines.
chefs who are great cooks. And I remember once, because we always had the system that we didn't have a pastry kitchen until about 10 years ago, maybe, when the demand, everything we made, you came into work in the River Cafe, you come to work and you don't know what you're going to cook. You might make a risotto one day, you might make a sauce another day, or you might make a chocolate cake. And it was really interesting to get the consistency and hearing from some chefs saying, I just don't like to bake. I don't want to make a cake. Or then you have the people who are in the pastry kitchen saying, some of them say they want to come down and learn how to make a ossobuco or a grilled steak, but a lot of them feel very proprietary about what they're... Do you feel that? Are you happier when you're making a cake to making a
I like to cook
pasta
for
sauce?
people. So I like to be in the kitchen
that's interesting
and
to me
nurturing
too.
people.
Yeah.
I love to do that.
Yeah.
But what I'm really fond of is to be alone in the pastry.
Okay.
And to do complicated things that takes a lot of time and be alone.
So the solitary,
I love the solitary aspect of it. One of the things that I love is when when I do stollen around Christmas time, and I do I don't know, 10 kilos of stollens. It's a lot.
Yes, a lot.
And it takes 3 days.
Yeah.
And maybe you have to be renovating the mix, the dough.
Yeah.
7 hours in. And maybe that's 3 o'clock in the morning. So I go to sleep at 10, I woke up at 2:30, and then I go and do it. Then I go another nap. I love that. That's beautiful.
Well, to quote another person, I keep quoting people today, but Michael Caine said that he loved to cook because it was the only thing he could do without other people. It was solitary. He said gardening and cooking, didn't he? He said, everything in a life where making a movie, you have so many people around you.
I don't like when people get into the kitchen.
You don't. I was going to ask you if I come and stay, I don't have to cook with you.
You would be more than welcome in the kitchen.
No, you don't have to.
But
I don't
like when people. No, you know why I like people who knows what I'm doing, and they can understand the dynamic.
I feel the same way. When we have an open kitchen, and so people are curious, and it's very nice, but you kind of want them to go away a little bit. I like having people help me. I love having Louisa.
Me too. I like to host people.
But friends are a bit hard.
But they should stay away from the kitchen. I remember I was a kid. I was 15, and my best friend Manfredi Romano, we were growing up together, high school together. He said to me, "Come with me for Christmas holidays to my grandma's house in Milano." I was in Sicily. So it was very exotic for me. We went to Lecco, this beautiful old mansion for this large, important, Milanese family. And the second I step into the kitchen, this woman looks at me and goes out.
Out.
And I felt so ashamed, but I understood her.
Yeah.
She was right.
And when you're working on a film set, when you're making a movie, do you care about what you feed the people who are working on the set?
I must say I wish I could be like Wes Anderson, who famously has incredible catering on his sets. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
But I don't. I don't, because it's a Sisyphean endeavor. First of all, a crew works so hard that they need to eat a lot. They need to eat things that makes their energy going. And I can't think, I am a control freak when I do a movie, complete control freak. But if I put my mind also onto that, it becomes too much.
Too much.
So there are people who know how to do it. And I don't eat much when I shoot.
You don't? I was going to ask you about your own
I don't
working.
eat on set.
You don't?
No, I don't. At the end of the day, when you shoot something, unless it's a complicated, many extras or a lot of action scene, you don't need many people.
Yeah. It's interesting because film and food and cooking and interior architecture, because you are involved in creating not just the environment for the table, but for rooms and perhaps even a hotel that you have?
I did a hotel in Rome called Palazzo Thalia.
Where is it?
It's in the formerly known Collegio del Nazareno, which is a very famous building from 17th century that been a school for the elite of Roman children for long, and then now became a hotel. It's basically in the middle between Piazza di Spagna and Fontana di Trevi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Of this place, I did 2 suites and all the communal spaces, everything.
What does it look like?
I don't know. Whimsical.
Is it dramatic? Is it?
No.
Is it?
No.
And do you enjoy it?
I did. I did.
You never thought of doing architecture or design?
I wanted to be an architect as well, but there was a lot of mathematics.
Chef, architect, and
mathematics, and me, I'm not good at it.
Would you do another?
I'm actually doing another.
What?
I can't say.
Okay, hotel.
Yeah, important.
Oh, good. But I think there are maybe the lines that we think are barriers between film and cooking and architecture or design. Maybe it all fits
For
in
me,
one.
it's a question of making, I love to make. I like craftsmanship. I like artists in general. I like creative people. I am happy when I'm surrounded by them.
Yeah.
I like to share. But at the same time, I like the beautiful, unique feeling that you feel when you see something becoming, whether it's a tagliarini pasta dish with asparaguses or it's in this incredible, fantastic house that I'm in, or it's like a scene, the actual happening of something that becomes a transformation. And food deals a lot with transformation. It's all about transformation. So I think that is really, really, really at the end of it, what I love about what I do, that I can witness transformation.
And if food is transformation, and it is memory, and it is sharing with your friends or creating something, it also is comfort.
Yeah.
When you need comfort, is there something that you would go to? Would it be a food of your childhood or tomato pasta that we're going to make for me? What would be your comfort food, Luke?
I think my comfort food, and I know the answer very precisely, is rice with milk.
Is that sweet?
The sweet, yes.
Oh, so it's what we call rice, but tell me about it.
Rice pudding.
Yeah.
That is
how do
my
you make
comfort food. I would use round rice, tiny, short rice, what we call vialone nano or tondo. And I would wash it a lot, and then I would boil in a lot of water for 5 to 7 minutes. I would drain it, and then I would put, let's say, 150 grams of this rice washed and pre-boiled in a liter of whole milk and 250 grams of double cream, and make it go into the stove for an hour and a half.
Did you put cinnamon or
I would put sugar and a lot of vanilla pods.
Vanilla pods, yeah.
And not cinnamon.
Yeah.
And I love cinnamon. And I would make it cook for an hour and a half until you have a good ratio between the growth of the grains and the cream you need to have. That's why the best. I love it.
And do you eat it hot or do you eat it cold?
No, I like it cold.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you do eat some things and not room temperature. I generally like everything room temperature myself, but some things are good cold.
Well, a dessert
you can have cold ice cream.
Ice cream.
A little boy said to me in the restaurant, I said, "Would you like some ice cream?" He said, "No, it's too cold."
But not even in a sunny place, in a warm place?
No, I like pasta has to be hot, I think. But otherwise, what I like about Italian food is there doesn't seem to be that. In America, you get, my country, in the United States, you get either very hot or very cold.
Very cold, particularly very cold.
So I quite enjoy.
It's not good for the bowel.
Is it no good or good?
Not good. Too cold is not good. You need room temperature is perfect.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what I go for. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ruthie.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the conversation, please click the subscribe button. There you will see more videos on my YouTube channel. We'll also be posting new content that you can only find here. See you soon.
Thank you for listening to Ruthie's Table 4 in partnership with Moncler.